about 11 o'clock and I'm headed into school. I consider school like work. I mean, I'm doing, like, I got laid off from my job last year in the summer, and I'm treating school as my job. So when I say I'm heading into work or school, I feel like it's one and the same, because I am getting paid. It's like not much. I get $2,000 per month, but it's better than nothing. So I'm kind of living off of my severance savings and that $2,000 per month stipend, which is like from a fellowship that I got, which is actually from the same company that I worked for. Long story short, what I'm doing right now, because remember I converted my old minivan, my Dodge Grand Caravan, into a camper van, and as I mentioned in my last video, I was running into some issues where my vehicle was dying, and I charged it for like 3 hours that night, and then I was like, all right, it should work. Like I should be able to turn it on in the morning, but I didn't trust it, and then so I went to park in the parking lot. I parked in a different spot. Like I parked up on the 4th floor, so even if there was people partying, they weren't bugging me, so I actually slept good. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going into this is like a paid parking area, but I'm pretty sure they only monitor it from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Long story short, what ended up happening in the morning came, and I tried to turn on the vehicle and it wouldn't start, which is what I thought would have happened if I had parked where I was going to park, and I wouldn't want to get out of my car where I parked to jump it with that jumper box that I have, the battery bank that could jump the vehicle. So I ended up jumping it in the parking lot, which I was fine with. Like, it's like private. There was no one there actually. It was early in the morning, so I just got out, jumped the vehicle, and that jumper box actually came in really handy because it could jump it multiple times, which is pretty cool, from like completely dead. And I finished what I had to do at school that day, and then I started coming back because remember I have a business, poop scooping business for dog poop, and so I have a route where I kind of like I built a route that's like, it takes me back home because I'm far away from home, but along the way I'm scooping houses that get me closer to home, which is, it's like I'm getting paid to drive home, which is actually kind of nice. But before I got my day started on poop scooping, after I was at school, I stopped at O'Reilly's. I got my battery tested, and I got the alternator tested. The alternator was good, and she said the battery just needs to be charged. So what I did was, on my route, I just kept my vehicle running the whole entire time, and it didn't, like, I just kept it running. I just did what I had to do. I got home and I left it running in the driveway, and so it was running for like 12 hours, and I was like, all right, I should be able to just turn it on tomorrow and it should start. The next day came, turned it on. They're doing a whole bunch of road work over here. Anyways, the next day came, turned it on, and it wouldn't start. So I'm like, all right, this must be the battery, unless the alternator's bad. On Mother's Day, I ended up going and buying a new battery from Costco because I heard they had a good warranty. The battery wasn't expensive, like $150. I need to take back the old one to get I don't know, it's like $15. So far, it seems like everything's been going good with the battery. We'll see. I'm going to be testing it. Hopefully everything is good, because it kind of threw off everything as I kept on having to think about, okay, is the car going to start tomorrow? What do I need to do? Where do I need to be? I kept having to pay because I got stuck in that parking spot, so I had to start paying the daily rate for that parking structure fee, which was like probably $11 per day. I only did it twice, and then I had ordered one of those battery banks from Amazon. It got shipped to my house because I couldn't ship it to an Amazon locker. It has to do with the batteries. You can't ship batteries to certain places. Anyways, I had my wife, she brought it in for me. She came out, and it was nice to visit with the family. So then once I was able to, I don't know, long story short, I figured out the situation with the van. Then this is the following week. It's about to be Tuesday tomorrow. I'm going in tonight on a Monday night because I don't want to have to think about the morning it's like either get up super early in the morning or wait until traffic dies down, but then risk being late for class. So I'm just gonna go in tonight, sleep in the parking lot tonight, and then get up in the morning, move my car. I brought all my stuff for the gym, so I'm going to try and go to the gym at school. It's like a brand new gym. It's supposed to be nice, so this will be my first time going and checking out the gym. I'm just hoping that they have towels. They said, I called in and they said that you could check out towels, and then I talked to someone that I knew, and she's like, they only check out towels for sweat. Like, I'm like, wait, what? And then anyways, I'll figure that whole situation out. But I was driving tonight on my way in to San Francisco, and I noticed that my minivan started overheating, and I was like, shit, like, it was one thing after another. So what I did was I just put on the front and rear heaters on full blast, and it started to bring the temperature down. And I didn't pull over, I just kept on driving, and then I made it to Walmart along one of the cities towards San Francisco. Got out, got some coolant, got a towel so I could put it over the radiator cap. And when I touched the coolant cap, it was like cold to the touch. So I was like, all right, something's wrong. Anyways, I ended up taking it off and then filling it up with coolant. It took like the whole gallon, and I'm not sure what the situation on that is, so I'm kind of like troubleshooting right now. We'll see what happens. Most likely it was leaking through the radiator cap, but we'll see. But right now I've been driving for it's probably been like 50 minutes, and it hasn't overheated. So it was just low on coolant. It's just because like I said, I was running the vehicle like for like 12 to 15 hours straight, and maybe somehow the thermostat got stuck, or it started leaking somewhere around the radiator cap. I don't know what happened in that situation. Hopefully it wasn't overheating when it was just sitting there in the driveway. But yeah, so anyways, that's a little bit of an update, just because this van was sitting for a long time after I bought it. I had bought it like once soon after I had gotten laid off, because my Prius has almost 300,000 miles on it, and I was like, this thing might be taking crap. And I got this vehicle for like maybe $2,000, around $2,200, $2,300, and it's like it's just been sitting for a while. Like, that's probably why the battery went dead, and then I'm kind of just figuring out the kinks because now I'm actually driving it. But overall, everything works fine on it in terms of like mechanical like issues. These are kind of like things that come with like regular maintenance and service. But yeah, so this week is the last week of spring semester 2026. So I have 2 lectures this week. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get B's in like 3 of my classes, and then hopefully a B in one of my other classes. I was shooting for an A, but the damn professor asked these dumbass questions. Like, he tries and like tricks people, but then also asks questions that are completely unrelated to what he talked about on the lecture. So I'm like, come on, guy, like, you're not even testing what like knowledge. Do you know these random facts about things that I didn't even teach you on? It was just kind of irritating. So I had stopped going, but I'm trying to like bounce back, because I just need a B on the final, and I could get a B in the class. So, but the thing is, I'm in a master's program. I'm doing a master's in biology, and so what I needed to do is I have a prospectus meeting, which is kind of like where you present your project to your thesis committee, and then they'll give you feedback and kind of like guide you and question you on like how, like, have you thought about certain things. So that's on Friday, and I forgot I changed everyone's schedules, because I used to do poop scooping on Thursdays, and I switched it just last week because I had gotten burnt out from commuting. It's like an hour with no traffic. Like right now, even here right now, you see there's traffic. So it's always something. Like bare minimum is probably like an hour and 40 minutes. Okay, no, that's okay. Bare minimum probably an hour and 30 minutes, and then things like this brings it to like an hour and 50. And then if there's like actually traffic, which I try not to drive during when there's like commute traffic, it could be like 2 hours and 40 minutes easily. I got kind of burnt out because like I want to be with my family. I have a little baby girl, and plus I got my 2 big kids too. I always try and like help out my daughter with her homework, and then just being home with a routine and everything. I did. Last semester I was sleeping in the Prius more often, and then I don't even know how I got to the point where I felt comfortable doing that. I guess it was probably because I got used to being home over the winter break, and then I was commuting back and forth, and so I had everyone's poop scooping days on Thursdays. But then I was starting to like lag in the lab. Like, I haven't made much progress in the lab, although I have made progress. I feel like I could be doing more. And so like I for example, I've done things like I've established like this whole wade in, do seizure and these zebrafish, and I taught the undergrad students that I work with how to do this as well. And then we presented like this poster presentation at this scientific showcase, and I was like doing these things, and then we had another experiment ready to go, but there was an issue with the experiment, so we have to repeat it. That's why I'm starting this week. Anyways, I'm coming out here and staying out here probably like 3 nights a week because I want to be more present in my master's program, but also like now I'm saving gas and money by being out here, and time, because now like I don't go to the gym because I don't have time. And so like here it's like I have like a whole bunch of time. Like I could go to the gym and still like have time to have coffee and go to class. Like that's a good productive morning. And that's kind of like why I'm trying to finish my master's and then get into teaching, like get my next job. So everyone was scheduled for their poop scoopings on Thursdays because that's what it worked out with my schedule. So I would go in on Thursday. I would go in like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, going back and forth. That's like 6, 9, 12 hours minimum of commuting. Most likely it was more like, 16 hours or more with traffic. But yeah, so what I did was I moved everyone's poop scooping days to Fridays. I moved everyone's poop scooping days to Fridays. So that's why this week I'm actually going back on a Thursday, because it's like, this is like a one-off situation, or like it shouldn't happen too often. It's because I scheduled the Friday prospectus meeting where I'm presenting for like an hour. I scheduled that before I switched everyone's days, and I forgot that I did that. So I have to be there on Friday, but I need to do the scooping. But I just changed everyone's schedule to Friday, and I don't want to message them this week like, hey, sorry, I have to come on Thursday. Like that'd be like, I could imagine like they probably wouldn't care, but like that's kind of like not professional. And so what I'm going to do is just show up in the morning. I'm going to scoop everyone's house early in the morning, starting at like 8, because my presentation's in the afternoon around 3 o'clock. So I'm going to scoop everyone on the way to school, and then change clothes when I get in. And then, because I have like a whole uniform that I wear, and change clothes when I get in, and then I'll start scooping then. Then I'll get ready for my presentation and then come back home. But that day I'm going to take the Prius. But tonight, I'm going to stay out here Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, come home Thursday, so I'm going to be able to attend class, stay home Thursday night, and I'll hope to get good sleep with my CPAP and stuff. Because to be honest, I haven't been sleeping good. The bed's comfortable, but I don't know, I'm having issues like with comfort in the night. And so in the Prius, when I had this set up, like I didn't have the cot, but I had this like blow-up air mattress underneath my foam mattress. Super comfortable. But right now I think what happened was I popped the mattress below it, and also the cot kept falling into this little crack on the head area, so then I would have to like lift it up, and I figured that situation out, so I put a piece of plywood there so it's like all flat and level. But yeah, I'm kind of just like, as I'm out here more and practicing, or like running through what I need, like, so because I don't want to always take down my window covers that I made, but it's hard to see your blind spots. It's like driving a cargo van, like a work van. And so I put those little mirrors on the sides of my side view mirrors, those little blind spot viewers, and they actually do help, so that's cool. And then else in the back, I installed that light. Also right here where I'm recording, this is a phone mount that attaches to my rear view mirror, and that's different from like ones that stick to the window, because you got to remember I'm stealth camping. So what I do is I'll put the blackout side of the window shade facing that way, but if I have a mirror one, then I have to take it down every time, versus this one I don't have to take it down every time. So that's pretty good. And then also I was thinking of how am I going to charge my portable power bank, because that power bank is enough for me to get like 9 hours of sleep with my CPAP machine, which I usually only sleep like 7 hours. So 9 hours, there are times when I sleep like 10 hours, but that's every like once in a while. On average it's like 7 hours, but that means I'd have to charge my power bank every day. And I was thinking about putting solar panels on the roof, but I have my rooftop cargo box that I use for poop scooping. So I don't know what I was thinking about doing. So I have a rolling suitcase. I was thinking about just putting the power bank in there, rolling it later in the evening, and then charging it. But I think the more discreet way to do it is to put it in my gym bag, because no one would suspect anything if you have a gym bag and then you just plug it in. So I might do that. I gotta think about that some more. And then while I was home, I stitched up the edges around the two front window covers, because as I had mentioned, the cloth was falling off. Even though I glued it, the cloth was falling off. So I stitched it with my Chinese shoe sewing machine, the Chinese shoe patcher sewing machine that I use for leather. It works for that perfectly fine. Like, goes through that like nothing. I'm getting up close to school right now. Yeah, that was a little bit of an update. Pretty much just figuring out the kinks, thinking about what do I actually need and want in this camper setup, and like how to make everything work with school and business and home. And so far, like, the only thing that like would make this better is like having a refrigerator. But then to do that, I would need either, so you know, the Grand Caravan, it has like these big spots underneath where you could fold seats into those. This is like the base model where it didn't have the seats. It had the bench seat in the back, in the middle row. So it's just empty space there. I could put like a big old battery system, and I was thinking about doing that, but then I would need to figure out a way to charge it. And if it's big enough, what I was thinking is I could plug it in at home, and it could probably last the whole week. And then I just, like, it could probably last me like the 3 nights or whatever, charging my CPAP plus charging my CPAP plus powering a what you would call that, like a mini refrigerator. And if I did that, the good thing is that I would save even more money. So it's kind of like an investment up front, which is like, how much money am I actually going to save? I don't know. It might be like, because I could just eat out here. There's a mall right here, so I could, you know, go to Chipotle every day, and then you also get like free burritos and stuff. So I'd be saving up my, I don't know, to be honest, I could get like 2 meals out of one Chipotle bowl. So I could spend like $10 on a bowl, I get these fat bowls, and I can split it into 2 meals. Because you gotta imagine, when I was taking the Prius, yeah, I'm saving gas, but if I'm coming every day, that's like $17 in toll every day plus gas. And then it's like $60 a week minimum plus gas. It's at least $120 a week. So that's like, let's just say $150 a week. So it's like $600 a month. Versus here, like doing this situation, like, yeah, I'm driving the minivan, but I'm only literally going in one time and home one time. So that's 17 on toll plus the gas. Let's just say it's like 40. So that's like, let's just say 60. That's like 240 versus like 600. That's a big difference. But the thing is, like, with that amount of money, I could went the wrong way. Anyways, I'll just talk longer. Yeah, so all the money that I'm saving on tolls, I could go out to eat every day and eat pretty healthy. I mean, like, I could go to like Chipotle and get like, that's better than McDonald's, I guess. And then I could get like long story short, I could be eating good, not having to have refrigeration. But the good thing about refrigeration is, like, at least you could have healthy food. So like, I could do like rice and meat and vegetables, or I could just bring stuff for like sandwiches and have a nice drink. I don't know, it's something I'm going to think about, because it would be kind of cool just to have like all that power in the van and not have to like think about power. And like, I don't know, we'll see how much I really need it. But that's something else I'm looking into. Anything else? What else? Yeah, just got to finish sewing up all the other window covers, and then I might get these 2 front windows tinted. I mean, I might get all the windows tinted, I don't know. It is a lot more private. Like, you would know, like, even with the window covers, like, you can't really tell that there's that those are window covers. It just looks like tinted windows. But if I did like tinted windows, there would be no doubt, like, no one would suspect anything. Anyways, I'm parked in a really tight spot, so I'm not even worried about that. Also, so this is a place where I was gonna park. It's kind of on a downhill, but up back more, it's not as big of a downhill. And even down here, I think it gets flatter. Yeah, it starts to flatten down over here, but I don't think you could park over here. But up there more, it was like more, and this is like kind of like an off street, so it's not a main street, so it's a lot more quiet over here. So did I mention with the scooping on Friday? Yeah, I said I was gonna scoop on the way in and then do my presentation. Then it's finals week the next week. But finals week, I'll be starting one of my experiments, so that during the summer I'm not just getting started. I already have things started. Hopefully I get a publication out of this work that I'm doing. That'd be pretty cool. Even though I don't really need it, it's kind of just like for me personally. So I'm gonna keep this video running, and I'm gonna show you where I park right now, and you'll see why I feel like comfortable where I'm parked at. Like, you get good sleep when you know that no one's gonna mess with you. Shit, this feels wet, man. I have my distilled water from my CPAP, and I think this is my jump starter for it's one of those portable jump starters. That's actually like, I should have had one of those a long time ago, just in each one of my vehicles. It would have been a good thing to have. So the gym's actually over here. It's like behind that red light. So I'm probably gonna drive there in the morning when I wake up. But as you can see, there's that RV. There's a whole bunch of RVs. There's one right in front of it too. And then going down this street, there's a whole bunch. But I don't like parking there because all these cars, I've parked on busy streets before, and all the cars, you could feel like the wind pushing you and like your whole car is shaking. And you could also just like hear all the cars. So it's like, I don't know how those people sleep. It's not peaceful. So we're driving up right now. The reason why I'm talking is because I use this app to edit my videos called InShot. And what it does is that you could do this AI edit where it removes like ums and uhs and pauses. But that means that anytime you're not talking, then it's gonna delete all of that out. But let me just put the camera a little bit more straight. Let's see. Yeah, so like I am not worried parking here because all these people who are here at night, like I said, they were partying over here, but all of these people are residents to San Francisco and they pay for that parking. So what I started doing before, I went up, but now I'm going to go down towards the first floor. I think as long as you're not on the main floor right there, that's good. That's something I need to get is brakes on this van. So you can see I park up right up against the wall, so no one's around, so I feel really at peace over here. And like I said, part of the one way to get good sleep is when you feel safe and like tucked off. And as you can see, I need to put my window up over here. It fell down when I was driving. All right, so right now what I'm gonna do, put my window covers up. You'll see this one. And like I said, you can see the stitching. I was using my Chinese shoe patcher leather sewing machine. Turn my lights off, turn the van off. I'm gonna open this, make sure this shit is off, because lock the vehicle. Because in my newer van, that one has like issues with the locks where technically it doesn't even actually lock. Yeah, so with that, and then I have, let me put this on, one of those accordion ones. This is just from like Walmart. Works good. Yes. Hit the rear mirror. Yeah, as you can see, it's starting to fall down. I'm kind of starting to see where my issues are with these. Let me just show you. I got my water right here. This is my distilled water. That's my gym bags, and in there I have my laptop and stuff. Let me turn on the flash. Yeah, let me see. So obviously got the old minivan. So just put up on these. And I forgot to mention it last time, but this is for my other van. I have my new one that I made right here, but I didn't put this one up because my windows aren't tinted and you could see the reflection. And like I said, over here, you could actually see. So this is the piece of wood. This, you could hear the air coming out of my, so I have this foam mattress and then I have this other one. It's leaking, whatever. But now with this piece of plywood, it's not falling into that gap. I just got the notification that my phone's starting to die, so it turned off the battery. But I have this light, remember? So I brought in this one. I put my clothes in here because for the suitcase, I was thinking about using that to bring it in to charge at school. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that because people are going to be like, where are you going? My CPAP. So, let's see. Yeah, I'm surprised this didn't leak water on the drive here. All right, I'll catch you all on the next one.